trees, flowers, not even a blade of grass. No life, no cloud. It's silent.
Anytime you go somewhere new, somewhere you've never been, you already build a version of it in your head. You picture it, you imagine the vibe, how it's going to feel. Then you get there and something feels slightly different. Like when you see a place online and it looks incredible, and then you show up and it's good, just not what you had in mind, and you're standing there thinking, yeah, this is the place. Now stretch that feeling across 2,000 years. That's what we did with the moon. At the beginning, people are just trying to make sense of what they're seeing, turning shapes into faces, animals, stories, anything that helps the mind settle, because leaving something unexplained feels uncomfortable. Then over time, the question grows. People start wondering what it would be like to go there. Lucen writes True History in the 2nd century and describes people waging war on the moon. And the funny part is how normal it feels. Like, yeah, we're going to the moon. Of course there's already something happening up there, because apparently, wherever humans imagine going, we assume it's already busy. He's basically parodying the biggest writers of his time. He takes the kind of over-the-top adventures you see in Homer's Odyssey, monsters, long journeys, strange worlds, and mixes that with the serious tone of historians like Thucydides, who write like everything is official and unquestionable. And then he just takes that combination and pushes it way too far. After that, people start trying to figure out how the trip could actually happen. And you can almost imagine Francis Godwin in the 17th century writing The Man in the Moon, just sitting there like, all right, I need to fly. What can I use? Ah, birds. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to the moon with birds. And at that moment, he's probably feeling like he just solved the whole problem. And now you've got multiple people confidently going in completely different directions. Then Jules Verne comes in with From the Earth to the Moon in 1865, and things start to feel structured, because now there's math, direction, planning, and he even picks Florida, near Tampa, around the 28th parallel. That detail actually lines up with reality, because launching closer to the equator gives rockets extra speed from Earth's rotation, and launching east over the ocean keeps things safer. So when NASA later builds Cape Canaveral in almost the same place, it feels like Verne pointed in the right direction long before it happened. And once the trip feels real enough to imagine step by step, your mind immediately jumps to the next question. What's waiting up there? Because let's be honest, you're not traveling all the way to the moon just to look around and go, yep, rocks. So people fill it with something. H.G. Wells imagines civilizations in The First Men in the Moon, 1901, which makes sense considering that in 1835, the New York Sun published The Great Moon Hoax about bat-like creatures and entire ecosystems living up there. And people believed it because it fit what they already expected. I know you're already typing in the comments, we've seen this, moon creatures again. But in 1835, a newspaper straight up said there were bat people living on the moon. And people believed it. Now imagine if Twitter existed back then. It would have been over. Then something new happens. At the beginning of the 20th century, film becomes a thing. And for the first time, people can actually see these ideas instead of just reading about them. And of course, one of the first big ideas people put on screen is the moon. Méliès gives us A Trip to the Moon, 1902, with that rocket hitting the moon in the eye, which feels less like exploration and more like the moon offended him personally. Haredevil Hare, 1948, has Bugs Bunny getting lured into a spaceship by carrots and ending up on the moon, where he's just trying to figure out where he is and how he's going to get back to Earth, like someone who realizes way too late that this trip was not thought through. It seems silly, but like Bugs Bunny, humans have often used animals in their experiments, and space exploration is no exception. In 1957, Laika became the first animal to orbit Earth. In 1961, Ham the chimpanzee goes to space, performs tasks, and comes back safely. By the 1950s, the moon starts to feel very clear in people's minds. In Hergé's Destination Moon and Explorers on the Moon, Tintin, Captain Haddock, Professor Calculus, and the team prepare carefully, thinking about oxygen, timing, and survival. Hergé actually gets a lot right, even if it's not perfect. They float once they reach space. They move in a lighter way on the moon, almost bouncing, and when they look outside, it's just gray and empty, like a quiet desert. They even see Earth from up there, small and far away. And on the way back, they start running low on oxygen, which suddenly makes the whole trip feel very real. Then in 1969, it actually happens. Apollo 11 lands on the moon. Neil Armstrong steps out and says, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." And what they find is exactly what's there. Dust, rocks, silence. After everything we imagined, everything we added to it, it's just there. And when you look back, all those ideas still matter because they made the moon feel familiar long before it was reachable. And even now, we still imagine the moon. It shows up in movies, stories, games. We know what it looks like, and we still add something to it, because imagination doesn't stop when we find answers. It keeps going. So when you look at the moon today, you're not just seeing a place in space. You're seeing everything we've ever thought about it. 1969 is when we stood there, but in another way, we'd been going there for a very long time.